let us try to focus what are the lessons we should learn from this. Right? Now, the first lesson is never be 100% in equity. Yeah, we always say that, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's a simple logic. We have to ensure that. Never put all your money in one asset only. And then if that asset crashes, you'll be in trouble. Second important mistake, what people do is they borrow money, especially in a bullish market. That's why I said people make mistakes in both the markets. Especially when the market is bullish, they think that returns are very easily available. So I'll borrow at, we do all this calculation, right? I will borrow at, say, I mean, even if I borrow at say 9% or 10%, I get loan under my personal category. So loans are available at somewhere less than 10% also. Market gives me 15-20%, I will make a cool 5%. Never borrow to invest. I think this is another lesson we need to understand. Third point is every time some category will do well. Yeah, be it a bullish market, bearish market, some sector, some funds will do well. Never make that mistakes of chasing it. Today, what pharma could be a very hot sector. Tomorrow something else will come. So you can't keep chasing the sector. But as a part of your portfolio, if you're having from the beginning, yes, good. But I can't invest in that fund after seeing the return. In that case, you will never get that return. That is what, if you see here, another point which I also wanted to show you here is this, right? Whenever the, for example, crashes has happened, market has recovered. It has given positive returns. You can see here when 52% correction happened, 76%, but you can't expect that 76 to come the next year also. You can see that, yeah, it gave only 16. Then there was a correction. And again, after that, you see it gave 25% return. So this is how market works. So we need to understand this. I mean, last year we got exorbitant return, right? For the entire calendar year 21, we got around 21.69%, right? Now, I can't expect that kind of return. Somebody who has invested in 20 maybe is at 45-50% return. But going forward, I cannot expect. That's why I put a question mark there. I don't know today what will be the return for Jan 2022 till December 2022. That's the reality, right? On 1st January 2023, probably will come and update this chart, right? But the point here is, the basic information is we have to be clear. If market has given a very high return previous year, you can't expect the same kind of return. So people may, why I'm saying this is people make that mistake of entering into equity after market gave you this kind of superlative performance and make that assumption I will continue to get this return. I will not be surprised if market corrects by 30% this year. I'm just saying it can happen. Technically, it can happen, or it may give you another 10% return also. Anything can happen. So the point here, what I'm trying to convey here is, please don't assume any returns. How do I assume return? We'll discuss that as we go forward. What is that return I should assume? How I should go about it? That we will see as we go forward. Yeah. So never chase returns. Yeah. Because the objective is not returns. Objective is something else. Your objective of investing has to be something else. What is that something else? We'll see as we go forward with our presentation. Yeah. People say this is bull market, this is bear market. The underlying fact is all bull and bear markets have to end something, right? As we say, right? There is an end for each of us also. We came into this world and date is fixed for us. We have to go, right? So similarly, we need not feel bad or good about any situation, especially with markets. If it is a bull market, it will end someday. If it is a bear market, it will end someday. We don't enjoy the bull market, right, as much as we crib for the bear market. That's human tendency, right? A 40% gain will not give you the same satisfaction as a 40% loss. This is natural, right? The behavioral aspect is come out through various reports. People don't enjoy that 40% loss. They feel much more bigger loss when compared to a 40% gain. It doesn't give you the same kind of happiness or non-happiness, right? We feel as if the entire world has crashed when we see a 40% loss in our portfolio. Right? We have seen it a couple of times. 2008, 2020, we have seen the portfolios going down by a huge margin. Right? So this is something which you have to accept. So that point in time, why I'm saying this is very important. Once you accept it, you will at least not take some panic decisions. Right? Very important to do that. That's where we have to accept that, yes, boss, it has happened. It may continue for some time. I need to hold on to it. That is the important point here, right? And again, next mistake what people do is, of course, today we have bitcoins and all those things, right? Cryptocurrencies. So people think that you can make easy money. Don't do that mistake. If you want to invest in cryptocurrency, please do it. Put a cap. As I said, don't put all your money in one assets. Yeah. Please ensure that. You really want to invest in cryptocurrency, somebody told you, some of your friends have made money, they will come and say it is very easy, app, it is there, nothing to be done. All that they will be saying. But to me, the important lesson here is, all this asset class, if it is giving exorbitant return, it has exorbitant risk also. Are you in a position to take that exorbitant risk? That is what you have to be clear. So if you really want to invest, then have a cap. Say, I'm not going to invest more than a lakh or 2 lakh, whatever you feel you can afford to lose. See, ultimately, why are we investing? We want better life, yeah. And if that itself is in question, then what is the point in investing? So that's where I need to be very clear. What is the risk? We'll see that also. Yeah. So as I said, any market, anywhere correction happening, all the markets are interconnected today. So obviously, our markets will also get affected. So that is now accepted fact, and we need to accept and work on. We cannot say our economy is different. We are more consuming economy, whereas other economy are all export oriented. Yeah, all that doesn't work. Correction happens globally. Everybody is going to get hit. So let's accept that fact. That is another important lesson we have to remember. And as I said, I think this is a very clear point which we have seen recently. Right? Black swan events. We can't even think what kind of event can happen in future. We don't know. Anything can happen. So obviously that risk is always there. And if somebody is going to predict where the Sensex is going to be at the end of the year, hats off. When people are talking, right? Sensex will be at 1 lakh. I mean, it will come. I'm not saying. But if you put a date to it, I don't know how much it will be true. The economy does well, yes. So predicting future is absolutely meaningless for investments. I will not make an investment based on the fact that Sensex will be at 1 lakh on 31st December 2022. My investment decision cannot be based on this fact, right? That's where never even predict. I may have shown you all these data points, right? I might have shown you that after a correction, market recovers. These are all historic data. The lesson here is, yes, market will recover. How much, when? Nobody knows. So predicting future is definitely one thing which we need to avoid, right? So don't go by what the experts predict. Your decision should be based on something else. What is that? We'll see. And as I said, if market gives you an opportunity, yes, we need to capture it. Market will give you opportunity. Please understand this. Another important lesson. As the major corrections, what we need to understand is it is giving an opportunity. Right? So I need to use that opportunity. So market will keep giving opportunity. So make use of this opportunity. Sometimes all the negative stories will come to the market. World is going to end. They already said, right? Somebody has predicted the world is going to end on this date and all that stuff. The same thing happens with market. They will say now long bearish phase and market will go back to that old level and all that stories keep happening. Nobody knows, honestly. Nobody knows. That's where I keep saying, because you restrict yourself to your portfolio. You worry about your portfolio, you worry about your income, nothing more. Let the market do whatever it wants to do. Yeah, we need not worry about it. And these are some of the things which we need to practice. Lessons we have learned, but it's important that these lessons are practiced. What is that lesson we have to ensure that we practice? First thing is never take any decisions in panic. The most important thing which you have to practice is tomorrow, if market crashes by 30%, the first thing you should do is just keep quiet for 1 or 2 months. Don't do anything. Don't get into the decision making like, I think I should have sold before. I don't know. Many people say that, right? Already I have lost 20%. People are saying it will reach this level, which means my losses will be 40, 50%. It is better to sell it now and at least protect the future loss. All those things, every correction people will do. More than the lesson, please ensure that you practice this. That's why I put all this in a different slide. This could be a lesson, but the point is, it is very important to practice this, especially in a big fall correction. Never go and sell or buy immediately. Sit quietly. Selling is absolutely no, because you are booking the loss. Otherwise, it remains as a notional loss. As I was sharing my experience, 2008, my 21 lakh portfolio became 8 lakhs. If I have sold, I would have made a loss of 13 lakhs, right? I said, yeah, the worst has happened. Let me just hold on to it. Then things completely changed. I put some more money, 4 lakhs, then became 16 lakhs. I invested in that fall 4 lakhs, additional 4 lakhs. That became 16 lakhs. Now I have crossed the earlier value also. What I'm saying is these are some things which you have to practice. Lesson is there, but if you don't practice what you learn, then it is of no use learning the lesson, right? It applies for our studies also. What we learn, we need to practice. Otherwise, we'll forget it, right? So very important lesson which we need to practice is never take any decision in panic, especially in a situation where you are really, it may not be market sometimes. It may be in your own life. It's market might be, no, nothing might have happened in the market, but personally probably would have lost a job. Yeah, or somebody close you might have lost. You might be really affected. So never take a decision in such emotional situation. The point is that never take a decision when you are emotionally disturbed, be it because of the market, be it because of your personal situation in life, anything. Just stay quiet for 1 or 2 months. Not doing anything itself is an important decision in life. So in fact, if you see that ad, it will be great, right? That old lady asking somebody to come and help her in lifting the whatever it had fallen. This guy will be eating the chocolate and he'll be just standing, right? Then all of a sudden something will fall from the top. He says, thank you, because of you, I managed not to get hurt. So sometimes it's very important to know that not doing anything itself is a important decision. Yeah. And especially when you are, be it a personal reason or because of markets, we are in a very bad shape. Very, very important to follow the second point. Be clear with your financials. What do I mean by this? Be clear. What is your income? What is your expenses? You have to be very clear. What are your liabilities? Because in that period, especially if I look back at the Corona period, what has happened is many of them would have lost their job. Income is gone. Expenses would not have reduced. Your liabilities will be paying your EMI. So always have a clear plan when such incidents happen. Because what is my income? What is my expenses? Where I can cut down? How do I manage? That's where the third point, emergency fund, is very, very important. Very, very important. No point in starting an emergency fund after an incident has happened. I need to be clear, because if something happens, do I have immediate cash to manage that for at least 6 months to 1 year? This is an important lesson, not because from the market crash itself. I'm saying generally otherwise also, because these events in life would keep happening, be it in market or be it in life. Ask yourself whether you have created that emergency fund. If not, sit with your advisor and create that first. Don't wait for any other event to happen to create this emergency fund. It has to be there. The next is, how do you manage your liabilities? Very important, because if you don't clear your liabilities, your money will not be there for investments. Especially in a crash time, just don't get into that habit of borrowing somewhere and managing the crisis. No, don't do that. That's where I said your planning regarding your income and expenses is very important. You should not get into a situation where you have to borrow money to manage your expenses. You cannot get into that situation. Tomorrow you cannot say, because of this pandemic, I lost my job, I couldn't manage my family and I had to borrow from my brother or sister or friends. Why do you get into such a situation? Who has to be blamed? It is not the pandemic to be blamed for that situation, right? It is our mismanagement of money. That's where have a clear-cut financial plan, have all these things in place. Very, very important lesson, not only from market crashes, from any events which will happen in your life. Because your portfolio would have fallen by 40%. You cannot sell it. And then how you are going to manage? That's where having a clear-cut financial plan is very, very important. Yeah.